in the Sunshine State Conference, but a loss here would be very devastating to them as far as losing that hold on the number one spot. But they've come out, they've taken care of business early, they've gotten into their game, and of course, as you mentioned, Catherine O'Brien, one of the stars of this year's team, has turned that aggressiveness and taken care of business into a 1-0 lead here early.
We're here in Winter Park, Florida. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are here up and running. The score is 1-0. It was Catherine O'Brien who scored the goal off of an assist from Megan Mosley with 37 minutes to go. I'm Sam Guzman. I'm joined alongside Neil Fisher and Nick Stathis. Gentlemen, Rollins has the lead so far. They're on a 7-match win streak. Heading into this game, they have the chance to extend it to 8 if they hold on to this lead. Neil, defensively, this team has been phenomenal. 3 shutouts in their last 3 games. What's been the key defensively for the Tars so far this season?
Well, Sam, you can really go even a little bit farther back. During that 7-game winning streak, they've outscored their opponents 15-3. As you mentioned, the last 3 have been shutouts. But basically, they've been playing the old school of thought, or maybe even it's a cliche to some people, the best offense is a good defense. And what we mean by that is they have a trio back there, Molly Van Eschbach, Ali Rost, and Hannah Menard. All 3 of them do an excellent job of coming across midcourt and cutting off the defensive zone. In other words, they pinch the ball. They do not allow the offense, the counterattack, the opponent being able to get the ball into their zone. Of course, in particular, Allie Ross is very, very good at being able to come in. She's an excellent facilitator of the ball and passes the ball there starting at that back line. Moves the ball very quickly and makes excellent passes using the angles. And again, I always like to say, if you have possession of the ball, at the very least, you're preventing your opponent from being able to score.
And they've been doing a great job of that, 15 goals to 3 in the last 7 matches. As O'Brien's inside the box, takes a shot with the right foot. Way too high, but that's a great shot from O'Brien nonetheless. And this season we've seen the Tars perform well. Catherine O'Brien lead the team in goals scored. It's the 6th week in a row that the Tars have been nationally ranked in the United Soccer Coaches poll. They dropped down to number 8 from last week when they were number 7. But Nick, it doesn't matter who you play, where you play. There's always a gigantic X on your back when you have a national ranking.
That's right. If you didn't know Rollins before, you certainly do now. I would say the biggest factor in the success that they've had so far this season is team chemistry. All of these players are very close with each other, and they have 5 senior leaders that have been playing together for a while now. And with Sarah Buckley and Allie Ross, that group of seniors really does a great job of leading this team to where they are today.
"30 minutes to go here in the first half. Rollins leading 1-0. They already have 6 shots to Tampa's none. So nonetheless, a dominant performance so far early on.
Yeah, again, as I talked about earlier when you asked me with the defense, they have not allowed any counterattacking. The defense, once again, taking care of business. Their style is to get that ball up and pinch in.
Mosley on the ball, a lot of room to work with. Beats one defender, gets stopped right there by McDonald. But, of course, Rollins recuperates. McGirt tries to get the ball through. Deflected, O'Brien on it. This is the non-stop offensive pressure that the Tars provide. Referee calls a stoppage. It's going Tampa's way. Rollins currently with a 10-2 record, undefeated in Sunshine State Conference. The last time these two teams played was back in October 3rd, 2018. Rollins made the trip to Tampa's facilities, and it went into double overtime. The final score was 0-0. Rollins this time is looking to win this game so they can stay undefeated in Sunshine State Conference.
Yeah, Rollins also leads the overall series 16-14, 4 ties as well.
Loaiza
And by the way, we didn't have time to talk about this because there wasn't a pregame show because of the weather. But the Tampa is the Spartans.
It was raining for almost an hour prior to kickoff. The rain stopped, but the pitch is still slippery, as you can see. So it'll be interesting to see how the players will handle the wet grass because, it's hard enough with cleats to stay on the grass, but you see the ball slipping and sliding, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I do think, though, that the field being wetter, obviously you don't want to play on a wet field, but if you do, I think that is an advantage to Rollins, considering their style of liking to pitch in and cut off the field, try to make it a half-field game.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that Rollins is used to a wet field. It does rain a lot in Orlando. Most of these teams probably used to rain, but you never know what can happen out there on the field.
Prior to kickoff, we were talking about it's Sunshine State Conference play, and anything can happen, Nick. And so far, as I said earlier, when you have a national ranking, you have to be aware and on your toes every moment of the game. So the Rollins Stars can't take any team lightly so far.
Yeah. Talking about big upsets, the men this Wednesday upset the number 6 team in the nation in conference play also.
Florida Tech, that's right.
Florida Tech.
Okay. Yeah, and that was a game they were down 1-0 for about 75. Well, they weren't leading until about the 75th minute.
Tars have it in the box. They turn it over. Caprara double teams McGirt. McGirt takes it near sideline out to throw in for the Tars. 26:40 left to go. Rollins leading 1-0. I'm Sam Guzman. Neil Fisher and Nick Stathis are the two gentlemen doing the color commentating for tonight's matchup. Ball crossed in. Altanon finds a way to it. She's outside the box, takes a boom with the right leg, and it goes in. Altanon gets a goal. 2-0 Rollins.
Some fancy footwork on that goal, and she strikes it in the upper right corner.
Yeah, excellent shot there. Got that right corner, and that's one of the reasons I love soccer, when they make a perfectly placed kick like that. Of course, that was set up again by compacting the field, keeping the pressure on the Spartans for several minutes.
What a boot. I'm waiting here to get clarification on who scored the goal. It was it was Molly van Eschenbach who scored the goal. I apologize for the error, but nonetheless, what a boot from Eschenbach, assisted by Bailey Tran, the freshman out of Glen Allen, Virginia.
Yeah, and again, mentioned Von Eschbach is one of the players to look out for. She is the leader of that defense, not just the leader, but that style of pinching in, and that time she went all the way in and got the beautiful pass from Tran. Just one too many players for the Spartans to be able to cover there.
No, we're going to scratch that off again. Great goal by Bailey Tran, assisted by Molly von Eschenbach. Tran still with a great shot into the right top corner. That's goal number 4 on the season for Tran. She hasn't scored since that last penalty kick she took against Florida Southern to win the game. And now she's back on the scoring sheet for the Rollins Stars.
Tran has been amazing this season. The poise she has showed on that pitch, even with her penalty kicks, has been something to see. For a player so young, she shows so much maturity.
Bailey Tran, 4 goals on her 15th shot. That's her 10th shot on goal. Good goal to shot on goal ratio right there from Bailey Tran.
So also, guys, we have to remember China McGirt is making her return. She missed a couple games due to injury, and she hasn't really played any dividends yet. But again, having China McGirt in with a 2-0 lead is certainly much better as far as being able to hold that lead than without her.
That's right. China McGirt has missed 2 of the last 3 games. She got some playing time in the last matchup at Florida Tech. Obviously now she's looking to make a bigger impact and maybe score a goal to make that lead 3-0 here for the Tars early on in the first half.
I've noticed Rollins winning a lot of those headers. This is a fairly small team with the Tampa Spartans. I would say Rollins is pretty normal size, but they do have a slight height advantage, which is why they're winning a lot of these, fly balls in the middle of the field.
And that was the first corner kick of the game for either team there. And now we're seeing for the first time Tampa being able to at least get a little bit of offensive semblance and presence.
Throw in far, excuse me. Rollins up 2-0 here with 23 and 30 seconds to go here in the first half. It's been a dominant performance from the Tars.
Yeah, again, I know I've already mentioned it, but I think it's a key point to this game. Really, everything that's developed out of it is basically Rollins came in. They needed to take care of the business of establishing a tone and being aggressive and getting that ball up front, and they've been doing that since the opening kickoff. Even after they scored that first goal, sometimes you get a team that lets up. That was not the case tonight.
It was Catherine O'Brien who scored the first goal of the game. She was assisted by Megan Mosley, and then it was Bailey Tran moments later who had a rocket shot into the top right corner to make it 2-0, and that shot was assisted by Molly von Eschenbach, and that's how we're here right now at 2-0 in K-Hall Sandsburg Field at Barker Family Stadium. Florida Tech will have a set piece here. Excuse me, Tampa will have a set piece here. Headed out by Rollins, cleared out, not out of danger yet.
And again, this is really the first time, almost at the halfway mark of the first period, any offensive presence by Tampa.
Yeah, Rollins has had possession most of the time, showing great passing skills to keep that ball.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned, Nick, I like to say, I know it's kind of cliche, but the best defense is a good offense. If you keep possession of the ball, the other team can't score at the very least. And of course, now that Rollins has the 2-0 lead, that becomes even more magnified.
Goal kick for the Spartans. Spartans currently sit fourth in the Sunshine State Conference with a 4-6-1 record, 4-2-1 record in conference play. They're coming off a victory from St. Leo.
Yeah, a bit of an oddity there in the fact that they're under 500 outside the conference, but over 500 inside the conference.
Yeah, it looked like they had a very hard schedule, facing two ranked teams in their first four games, and they went 0-4 in those first four games.
They picked it up, obviously. 2-1-1 in the last four games. Coach Switalski is looking to get the Spartans back on track, but right now they're in a deep hole with 2-0. Spartans on the attack, played far wing, crossed in to Morse. She gets a good boot on it, but kicked out by the Tars.
Yeah, another point here, too, is not only is Rollins doing an excellent job of getting that defense up and using that defense as an offensive weapon and cutting the field in half, but they're really being able to use the center part at the right time. A lot of outside to inside passing. Of course, both goals were set up from the outside, quick passes into the middle, hitting the goal scorer in stride.
That's right, and they've had 7 shots so far on the Rollins side. The Spartans only have 1. They have an opportunity here from a set piece. Nice save by Beasley. Elena Barr was the one to get a touch on the ball for a shot on goal, but Beasley there, continuing her terrific performances throughout the year. Spartans player is down by the goal.
Yeah, that's the first time Beasley has really had to be called upon to make a play here, but she came up big there. Again, textbook technique of rolling to her left.
And Beasley's just been on fire. She's had 8 saves in the last 3 matches. All 3 of those matches were shutouts, of course. She has a career high of 9 saves back when she played Lynn, September 28th. So she's been performing well, nonetheless, for the Tars as a freshman. throwing for Spartans. Spartans are looking to get a substitute in. Jackie Morris subbing in for Ashley Loaiza. Good lengthy stint for Loaiza, the senior midfielder out of Cooper City, Florida. Her last performance against St. Leo, she did start. She has started almost every game this season so far.
And Rollins has done a good job, too, and we don't talk about this a lot. It's one of the more of these subtle activities behind the scene, but they've done an excellent job of using their body not to allow the offense to get behind them.
Beasley collects the shot from Jalissa Richardson. And Beasley's off to a great start so far. Hasn't been tested that much yet, but still has a 0 on the board for Rollins. Mosley controls it in the midfield. Eschenbach. McGirt on the near sideline. Great defense from Sid Greiner. Throw in for the Spartans. 17 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the first half. Rollins leads 2-0 off of goals from Catherine O'Brien and Bailey Tran. Tars have had 2 assists so far from Megan Mosley and Molly Von Eschenbach.
Yeah, 2 excellent goals there, which were set up by even better passing, going from the deep corner there next parallel to the goal, hitting the goal scorer in stride without having to break motion. So a quick start here, as they like to say, for Rollins, not just in getting the goals, but why.
Nick, you've seen a lot of goals these past 2 matches. Wednesday, Georgios Koloniadis nails the game winner, and now we've seen 2 excellent goals from Catherine O'Brien and Bailey Tran. So I guess you're the lucky broadcaster. That's a goal from the Spartans. Cut the deficit down to 2-1 here with 16 minutes and 56 seconds to go. And 2-0, maybe the most dangerous lead in sports, as it's now cut to 2-1 here in the first half. You can see Catherine O'Brien is communicating to her team. Maybe it was a defensive breakdown that led to the goal, but Rollins is looking to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, that certainly was a defensive breakdown. When Tampa got to about 30 feet out, they failed to rotate. It was one-on-one coverage, but no one rotated into the middle there, and Beasley, of course, was a dead duck. She came out there, did what she's supposed to, but unfortunately the shot had already been taken off and the angle had been gained.
Rollins with possession now, trying to create something on offense.
So now, of course, as I mentioned, when both of the goals were scored, now you're seeing the importance. They had a breakdown there, a big mistake, but they have some room to allow that. Well, not allow that, but if you do make a mistake, they have the room.
The Spartans' goal was scored by the sophomore forward, Moiko Morse, the team's leading goal scorer. She's up to 4 now on the season. And it was assisted by Jackie Morris, also another sophomore forward. Great connection to have between the 2 forwards. Morse was the conference freshman of the year last season, so she's looking to continue a great, excellent run into this season.
Tampa with the free kick.
Ball whipped into the box. Eschenbach clears. Beasley was looking to pick it up, but another miscommunication from the 2. Spartans will have a throw down a far near sideline. Caprara deflected. Morse. Shot on goal from Nacello. Cleared out by Rollins.
Blocked by Marigliano on that play.
So also note on that last goal there by Tampa, that was an outside goal. We've seen most of the play on the inside. So, again, Tampa goes to the outside and pays dividends for them. if I'm Coach Shuck, I might want to keep an eye on Tampa now starting to move the offense and the attack to the outside, going from inside to outside.
Rollins will make a change. China McGirt is coming out. Allie Rost will be substituting in. This will be Ross's 13th game played in.
And I'm looking over here to the Rollins bench, and I see Coach Shuck having a conversation with McGirt. Looked like she at least partially wanted to get McGirt out there because she needed to give her a little direction. It looks like they're talking about what happened on the goal they gave up.
Ball thrown down. Mosley on the run takes a touch. It's going to go out of bounds, and that will be a goal kick for the Spartans. Rollins hasn't got a shot yet. They're still at 7. Tampa, meanwhile, has collected 4 shots, and one of them went in, and that's how we're here at 2-1 so far in the first half with 13 minutes and 46 seconds to go.
Tampa moving it up the field.
Rollins, go ahead, Nick.
As Rollins gets a goal kick here.
Substitution for Rollins, Sarah Buckley coming in for Sarah Scala. Coach Shuck looking to add to the attacking prowess of this team. Buckley, a phenomenal player. She's a senior forward from Oviedo, Florida. She is on a 3-match scoring streak, so 3 goals in the last 3 3 goals in the last 3 matches.
Yeah, Sarah Buckley has been a key player off the bench. She hasn't started a game this season, but she has produced at a very high level.
Yeah, and Oviedo High School, over in Oviedo, obviously, they are a state power. They've won multiple state championships. They even won several state championships, capping undefeated seasons off with the championship.
Through ball down for the Spartans. Barr chasing it down. Great defense from Mary Gliano. It's going to result for a goal kick for Rollins, as Barr was seen as being way too aggressive, and the official called it a foul.
So now we approach the 12-minute mark here, Sam. Things have changed definitely as far as the feel, more of a settled feeling here. Rollins not really coming out and pushing that ball up, or at least not having the success of being able to push the ball up the field and keep the play in the Tampa end zone.
It's like the first half of the first half was essentially in control by Rollins, but things flipped as soon as the Spartans scored that goal from Moiko Morse, excuse me.
Rollins looking to slow it down now.
Coach Shuck out of the coach's box and directing her team. Eschenbach. Referee awards the possession to Rollins. Coach Shuck, when she pulled Sarah Scala, told her she played well on the goal allowed. She tracked her well, and there was nothing she could do. And sometimes that's how it is, because you can play great defense, but there's always someone who will play better offense on some occasions. Ball sent into the box by Crosby. Mary Gliano looking for options. Tried to get it to Buckley, but couldn't. Rollins gets the possession back.
It's been a while.
O'Brien out on goal. Too far of a pass. Spartans recollect it.
I was going to say, it had been a while since we had seen Rollins be able to really sustain an offensive attack.
So you can see, you're right, Neil. The Spartans have dominated the second half of the first half. If that makes any sense.
The last 10 minutes or so.
2-1 here, 10 minutes to go at K-Hall Sanspur Field at Barker Family Stadium. I'm Sam Guzman. I'm joined alongside Nick Stathis and Neil Fisher. Tampa has the ball. They're looking to go into the front half. Great pass. Knapp on the ball. Mosley, bit too much on there. And Barr will give her team another set piece.
Yeah, I believe this is only the second set piece we've seen here in the first half. That is a bit of a surprise, especially given Rollins' ability to be able to pinch the field and cut it in half. Usually get more contact.
Lacey Nacello whips one into the box. Pass on the floor. Caprara goes way far sideline. She crosses into the box. Cleared out by Menard. Knapp.
And now you're really seeing here, this is an example of the difference between the first 20 minutes and the last 10. Tampa
Morse with a good move. Morse crosses it in. Ali Rost heads it out.
Great job by
DeZuto's on the ball. She heads it into the box. Another great denial by Rost, but it came with a price. Great defense from Rollins. They're looking to stop the Spartans from equalizing the game. Eschenbach, Caprara one-on-one. Caprara makes a move. Great slide tackle by Eschenbach. It's a goal kick, corner kick for the Spartans.
The third of the game.
It was changed to a corner kick. The initial calling of the referee was a goal kick. That's why Rollins is questioning the call, but nonetheless, it will be a corner kick for the Spartans. Crossed in. Kicked out by Eschenbach. Ali Rost on a run. O'Brien finds the ball with a... O'Brien. Rost. 7:58 to go. Buckley on the touch. Rollins working their way up to the attacking. Great through ball. Almost found Tran. Ball finds its way back to O'Brien. Tran on the run. Tran boots it in. Just wide. Bailey Tran so close to making this game 3-1.
Catching a break there, Tampa. Wide open net. Couldn't quite get the angle.
It was ruled an offsides before Bailey Tran got a shot off.
Okay. And before that, when the defender came in and slid tackle into that ball, that pretty much saved the goal. It would have been 3-1 there, would have had a wide open net.
Rollins looking to change the momentum into their favor after that attack despite the offsides call. Elena Barr takes on questionable tackle by Marigliano. Barr's going to hit the floor. Marigliano issued a yellow card.
Rollins definitely stepping up their aggressiveness after that goal given up.
And just a quick 101 here for those of you who do not follow soccer. 2 yellows equals a red.
Marigliano, that's her 5th career yellow card. Another set piece for the Spartans. Knapp powers one in. Headed out by Maria Daly.
Counter
Great
attack.
Opportunity. O'Brien out in the run. No one's in front. O'Brien takes a touch. O'Brien, great save from Bromwell. Buckley on the shot. Way too much.
Oh, great setup there by Rollins. Going set up with the counterattack, took off right away, got the one-on-one with the goalie. And again, that was set up because Rollins is trying to Tampa's trying to take a page out of Rollins' book, pinching their defenders up into the offensive zone. Only 2 defenders were back.
Brooke Steigerwalt will come in for the Spartans for Lisa Capara. Bailey Tran will come out, and Olivia Talmadge will make her first appearance of the night. It's been a tale of 2 stories here in the first half. We've seen Rollins get their opportunities, and we've seen the Spartans generate their opportunities as well. It's still 2-1 in favor of Rollins here with less than 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, and really the difference has been both teams have been, when the team has been able to get the goals and keep an offensive present, it's been predicated on the defenders being able to pinch up and keep that ball in the offensive zone.
Buckley, O'Brien tries to find Rost. Turned over by Rollins. Spartans still in a dangerous position.
Rollins regains control.
Crosby. Mosley. Nice through ball to Talmadge.
Just couldn't catch up.
Throwing for the Spartans. 5 minutes to go here at K-Hall Sandspur Field at Barker Family Stadium. Tars have had 9 shots so far to Tampa's 4. Buckley takes a boot 30 yards out. Just misses the goal, but we've seen Buckley take a lot of those shots, and a lot of them have gone in.
Sarah Buckley, definitely the vocal leader on this squad.
One of the leaders, senior forward. I think she's looking to get a goal. As we mentioned earlier, she's on a 3-match goal streak. She's up to 6 goals this season, the 6th leading goal scorer in the Sunshine State Conference, and the 2nd leading goal scorer on the team, right behind Catherine O'Brien, who now has 10 goals because she scored one earlier with 37 minutes to go in the first half. Tars currently ranked at number 8 in the United Soccer Coaches National Poll for the 6th week in a row. Ball played out to O'Brien. Great defense from Taiwo. Taiwo clears it out. It's going to be a throw-in for Rollins in their attacking half.
So again, very dangerous time of the game here. You get within about 4 minutes of each half, and a goal could be very devastating emotionally if you're the team that gives up the goal. If you're the
Ross taken down. The referee's going to award a set piece, but a goal was scored after the whistle. They won't count the goal, but they will give Rollins a set piece right outside the box. Many of the players on the Tars team were displeased with the call, but there's nothing they can do about it.
That whistle was clearly given before the ball went into the net there.
Sarah Buckley will be taking the free kick here. Buckley short cross in. Ross gets a head on it. Oh, and another dangerous tackle from Steigerwalt. Referee stops play. It looks like she's going to award a card now on that tackle. It's a yellow card for Brooke Steigerwalt.
Yeah, great save there by Bromwell. Really, the alertness. She read that the header was coming up right away and got herself into position. That was a shot that you really have to be able to move right away in order to be able to come up with the save. You can't read afterwards.
Rollins is going to have a second chance at that set piece. Great chances from Rollins so far. Mosley the closest one to it. Spartans out here on the run. Far sideline. Mosley tries to play one through to O'Brien. Taiwo gets a great boot on it, clears it out. That forces Rollins back to their own half here with 2 minutes to go at K-Hall Sandspur Field at Barker Family Stadium. Buckley, Talmadge. O'Brien, far wing. She's going one-on-one. Better defense from the Spartans. Talmadge. Mosley.
Good patience here by Rollins. We haven't really seen them drop the ball back to the defense that much. It's been a continuous push forward.
Menard back there on the defensive spot for the Tars. Spartans get the ball. Great pickoff from Eschenbach. Buckley. Megan Mosley controlling the midfield so far. Great distribution to her teammates. And that's an offsides from the linesman. 1:04 left to go, first half. Rollins up 2-1. It was Captain O'Brien who scored first to give the Tars a 1-0 lead. And then Bailey Tran would get the second goal moments later on the run. Dangerous position for the Spartans. They'll go in favor of the Tars. And then when the Tars were up 2-0, it was Moiko Morse who got the first goal for the Spartans, and now that's how we are here at 2-1, and the clock is winding down.
Yeah, just half a minute left here. And I think if you're Tampa, given the fact that you fell behind 2-0 about 10 minutes into the ball game, you'll be happy to go into half with a 2-1 deficit. Of course, if you're Rollins, I think you got some more work to do. You got to refine that energy and dynamic start that you had.
Last seconds here, winding down in the first half. Rollins will head into the locker rooms with a 2-1 lead. 11 shots for Rollins, 4 for Tampa, but it was an exciting first half. You can say Rollins had their chances, Tampa had their chances. Rollins will be walking into the locker rooms with a lead, but what's been your analysis so far of the first half from both teams, gentlemen?
Rollins has obviously did a great job of getting a goal early, and then capitalized on that early lead with another one. Unfortunately, they gave up that goal. They got a little flustered, it seemed, after that goal, but they composed themselves, and now they're just going to go into halftime with a 2-1 lead and hope to add to that lead, or at the least keep it the same.
So I think, as you mentioned, Sam, it's really been two different halves within the first half, and really at the center of that was pushing up, getting your defense to push forward. Both of the goals scored by Rollins, they had their entire defense at least at the midfield line, and they scored 2. They came out, and that was a great start. And then perhaps not as much. Of course, Rollins is more known for pushing that defense up, and in particular Van Eschken handling the ball. But on the goal scored by Tampa, they did the same thing. It was a counterattack, and 8 out of the 10 players were inside the midfield, and just a lot of pressure and really nowhere for Beasley to be able to move it in order to come up with the save.
All right, well, when we get back, we'll have the second half of action here at K-Hall Sandsburg Field at Barker Family Stadium. The Rollins Stars take a 2-1 lead heading into halftime. We're back here at K-Hall Stanford Field at Barker Family Stadium for the second half of this Sunshine State Conference matchup between the Rollins Tars and the Tampa Spartans. So far in the first half, it's been electrifying from both sides as Bailey Tran trying to control the ball right now. Rollins came out of the gate super quick. O'Brien out. O'Brien battling with Taiwo. It's going to be a goal kick for the Spartans. But, gentlemen, going back to the first half, it was a really exciting first half. A lot of physicality, Neil, that we saw from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been 2 or 3 non-calls, if you will. Really, I've watched a lot of soccer, and I've seen yellow cards be given out for a lot less than what we saw here today. But, again, that physicality has really been established, really facilitated by both these teams using a quick push the ball up the field and pinching with their defense, cutting the field in half, so there's not a lot of space to maneuver.
Tampa on the attack. Barr crosses one in. Marigliano, great defense. Spartans are going to have another chance. Booted in. Crosby out with the kick. Mosley chasing it down.
Marigliano has been all over the field in the right spots at the right time.
Morse versus Eschenbach. Morse gets through, Von Eschenbach, great defender. That's why Coach Shuck has her in the back.
Yeah, and she was essential to that first goal, pinching in.
Dangerous spot for the Tars as the Spartans have countered back with their own attack in their half. 11 shots for Rollins, 4 for Tampa. Long throw in. Jalissa Richardson. Crosby booted out. Morse.
And if you're Rollins, this is not what you want to start the second half. Saw a lot of this towards the end of the first half, the ball being in there down around the goal, down around the crease.
Throwing for the Spartans. Far sideline. Eschenbach gets a good foot on that one. Spartans going to restart again. Kapara. Double teamed. Scala looking to find her way out of trouble. Altonen. Tiowi on the interception. Kapara. Barr tried to do a 1-2 here.
Ooh, looked like the handball there.
Kapara. Knapp making a run down the sideline. No one there for Knapp to find. It'll be a goal kick for the Tars. Nick, we can see here in the second half that things are already escalating between the two teams as far as attacking progress. But what were your early impressions from the first half?
You know, it really was a tale of two halves in that first half. Obviously, in the first 10 minutes, Rollins was in control, and then they surrendered that goal, and they're just looking to get the momentum back that they had at the beginning of the game.
Eschenbach tried to find the streaking Catherine O'Brien on the run. She already has 1 goal today. She scored the first goal of the match in the first half with about 37 minutes to go, and then it was Bailey Tran with a scorching heater into the top right corner to make the game 2-0 in favor of Rollins. And then it was Moeko Morse, the Spartans' leading goal scorer, who made the game 2-1, and that's where we are at right now here in the second half. Spartans on the attack. Cleared out once again to Eschenbach. Great pass, but offsides as Catherine O'Brien is trying to get an attack out of that possession.
I've also really liked these through balls. They're from Rollins. They're trying to get the ball downfield in a hurry.
Rollins, third in the Sunshine State Conference for assist. Heading into this match, they had 28. Now they're up to 30, including the assist today from Megan Mosley and Molly Von Eschenbach. And a lot of those assists, as you said, Nick, have came from through balls that Rollins has provided throughout the season. 5 minutes have passed here in the second half, and it's been exciting. O'Brien taken down. Possession awarded to Rollins. It was Quinn Knapp who got a piece of O'Brien and behind her leg possibly.
As we see O'Brien's teammates checking her out.
O'Brien with a limp. She's going to try and walk it off. Round of applause for O'Brien. Her family is here too in the stands. They got to witness the awesome goal that she scored, including her 92-year-old grandmother, Rose, who got a special announcement here from the PA announcer in the stadium. And it must be a great night for O'Brien so far.
Well, of course, there's no substitute for having your grandma. Right, guys?
When grandma's here, you have to show up with your A game. Crossed in into the box, and that will be a goal kick for the Spartans. But when Granny's in town, you better score a goal, and that's what Captain O'Brien has done. Pretty sure she would want maybe 2 or 3 goals tonight to give Rollins a win, but O'Brien was the senior spotlight player for today. She's had an amazing career so far here at Rollins.
Came into this game with 9 goals and 4 assists so far this year. 3 of those goals were game winners. Of course, now she's up to 10.
And O'Brien joined the Tars back in 2015 and has played in 60 games so far in her career, making 59 starts as the Spartans put through a great through ball. Jalissa Richardson, far sideline in the corner. Mary Gliano is going to take on the challenge. Back out. Spartans outside the box. High cross, but out of bounds. Goal kick for Rollins. You can see throughout this match that Rollins will be controlling the match in their half, and then all of a sudden, the Spartans will come back quick and try to generate chances.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that during the first 20 minutes, but since that 20-minute mark of the first half, that's really been the big difference is counterattack now by Tampa.
Knapp controlled. Mosley bodies her off. Bailey Tran, amazing touch, gets it by one defender.
Ooh, good passing there. A smart passing, getting the ball back to the open area.
Scala back out. Von Eschenbach. Throwing for the Tars. Rollins in their attacking half so far. 37 minutes and 56 seconds to go. They're still up 2-1. China McGirt denied. Another throw-in for the Tars.
Yeah, so far in the second half, we've seen increased aggressiveness, even more than the first half, which was very physical.
Spartans out on a run. Marigliano gets a foot on it. Menard clears it out. Ow, and that might have been a ball right to the face. And great interception. Scala over the top. Nobody there. Bromwell collects it. She'll slow down the pace of this match so far.
And Tampa has really made an adjustment there since that 20-minute mark defensively. They're coming up and taking away those angles into the middle. As I mentioned, Rollins scored both of those goals going from outside to inside passes. We haven't seen many of those outside-inside passes since that adjustment.
As Rollins regains control.
Eschenbach, Scala, Tran. Tran works her way out of trouble. Back to Eschenbach, Crosby. Altanon making a run down the sideline. Down to Mosley. Great control.
Oh,
Altanen.
Good passing here. Good patience.
And Tampa will come back the other way. Great header by Menard to get it back to Eschenbach. Cleared out. Throw in for the Spartans.
And with that passing, we've seen great passing all year by the Tars. Like you said earlier, now 30 assists on 32 goals. That efficiency with being able to play as a team is very important.
Rollins also third. Came into this matchup third in the Sunshine State Conference with 30 goals, but now it's up to 32, as you said, Nick. So Rollins a great team overall. Ball makes its way through to Richardson. Menard applies the pressure on Richardson. That's a goal kick for the Tars. 35 minutes to go. 2-1 here. Rollins in control so far at K-Hall Sandspur Field at Barker Family Stadium. I'm Sam Guzman, and I'm joined alongside Neil Fisher and Nick Stathis. We have an exciting Sunshine State Conference matchup here today. Morse with space. Great defense by Scala. Ball put into the box, but far wide, and that's a goal kick for the Tars once again.
So a second shot attempted here in the second half by Tampa. Fortunately, Rollins has been able to turn the kicker, the shot taker, to the outside, so we haven't yet to have a shot actually on the goal. And I guess if you're Rollins, that's a positive there. At least you can say we're not giving up those shots on goal after these counterattacks.
That's right. Tampa only has 4 shots so far today, and the number has stayed the same since the first half for the Spartans. Meanwhile, Rollins worked its way back up to 11, but haven't had a shot yet this half. Menard. Richardson back to Beasley. Rollins taking its time with its possession. Richardson. Morse tries to put one through. Put it out by Scala. And another dangerous tackle on Megan Mosley. It was Rennie Taiwo who would take on Mosley onto the floor, and we've seen not one, not two, but maybe 3 or more of those dangerous tackles today so far in this match.
Yeah, and that was not a tackle. That was not contact where you had 2 players meeting with the ball at the same time.
And it's going to be a Spartans free kick, despite the tackle. Long ball into the box for the Spartans.
The Rollins defense has been doing a great job of really making Elena Beasley's job a lot easier. She really hasn't had to save that many shots today.
3 shutouts so far this season for the Tars. Spartans on the attack.
Yeah, so far that defense has really forced, even when the ball does get down into that goal crease, the ball's been forced to the outside, and the Tampa players can't turn back into the inside.
Morse touched down by Rollins. Goal kick for the Tars. As you can see, the Spartans have been in control so far this half. Haven't got a shot on goal. Only 1 shot on goal so far, but momentum is playing in the favor of Spartans.
Yeah, Tampa has actually shot the ball 4 times in the direction of the goal, but as we mentioned, they've only been able to actually get one directly on the goal.
We're here at K-Hall Sandspur Field at Barker Family Stadium. 32 minutes and 41 seconds here to go in the second half. The Rollins Tars lead 2-1. I'm Sam Guzman, and I'm joined alongside Neil Fisher and Nick Stathis as we are bringing you today's action.
Yeah, we've talked a number of times, Sam and Nick, about Rollins coming in 7-0, 21 points, top spot in the Sunshine State Conference. This is an important game for them in order to continue to maintain that hold, but it's also an important game for Tampa. They're in 4th place themselves in the conference.
And anything can happen in the Sunshine State Conference.
So Tampa's 4-2-1, that's 13 points. Actually, they're tied for third with Nova Southeastern, and they're only 2 points behind Embry-Riddle. The top 6 teams make the playoffs. So they still have a shot at getting one of the 2 byes for the first round of the conference playoffs.
Free kick for Rollins. And the last time the Tars clinched a regular season Sunshine State Conference championship was back in 2012. for Coach Alicia Shuck. They went on to win the Sunshine State Conference tournaments in 13 and 14 back-to-back. And it's been another successful season for Rollins under Coach Alicia Shuck.
Yeah, we've mentioned.
Ball's put into the box. McGirt gets a foot on it. Goal kick.
So we mentioned that, of course, Rollins began the season unranked. Not only have they entered the rankings, but they're 8th. So I think that, as you mentioned, they've had many successful seasons under Coach Shuck. They've made many deep runs into the playoffs. But this is a little bit different because they started the season unranked, and now they've moved all the way up to 8th.
Catherine O'Brien is going to take a seat. The round of applause from the fans here at Barker Family Stadium was Allie Rost, who came in for O'Brien, looking to provide more defense for the Tars to hold on to that lead that they have.
And we've seen a lot of substitutions here by Coach Shuck. A lot of in and out. I know Ross has been taken out, got a breather, I believe, 3 different occasions here.
And O'Brien, after taking a rough tackle, she was limping off the field. She's seeking medical treatment right now. A couple stretches, but it'll be interesting to see if she comes back into the game, as she did score a goal earlier in the game. First goal of the match for the Tars.
Yeah, lightning quick there. It certainly gave a boost to the Rollins.
With Rollins being so dominant in the Sunshine State Conference, historically they have been that for a while, but this year being in the national scene is a big difference, and they feel like they can go pretty far.
Corner kick from the Spartans. Go way outside the box. It's going to roll out for a throw-in. Hannah Menard will be throwing in the ball for the Tars. Neil, Spartans working on the near sideline throw-in. Barr, nice move.
Stutter step there from Barr, but once again she's turned back to the outside once she starts making a step or two to the middle.
Easily connected. Big Altonen throwing for Spartans in their half. And Rollins is trying to hang on to that lead, 2-1. We've seen, Nick, that Spartans have just been pressing in their own attacking half, and they've generated opportunities for themselves.
Yeah, they want to. As Rollins takes over the ball here, they really want to keep possession in their side of the field and put the pressure on Rollins as the trailing team. Possession is key.
And we've seen a lot more counterattacks here since about that 20-minute mark of the first half, guys. And that's really allowed more pressure to be put on Rollins' defense. It's so far been bend but not break.
It's a perfect description.
Kapara. Referee awards possession to the Spartans.
Just outside the goal crease there. So got a number of options when you're about 7 feet outside that goal crease with a free kick.
30 yards out. It looks like Morse will be taking this by herself. Wonder. You can see it's Mosley, now it's Mosley and Turan and Altonen building a 3-person wall. Morse goes down far sideline. Knapp. Shot is wide from Knapp, and Beasley will have another goal kick.
Tampa trying to outquick Rollins there. Trying to catch Rollins off guard there and catch that corner of the goal.
26 minutes ago, Rollins up 2-1 here at K-Hall Soundsquare Field at Barker Family Stadium.
So I'd say right now, of course, obviously if you're Rollins, well, both teams want to score, but if you're Rollins, you want to reestablish that 2-goal lead. But really, the priority now is they got to start getting some offensive presence down at the other end here. Eventually, Tampa is going to score if they keep maintaining and controlling the play down in the offensive zone.
Bailey Tran, excellent slide tackle. Ball goes all the way to the center line. But the Spartans continue to maintain possession and press on forward. Morse.
We've certainly seen a lot of momentum shifts, and this is just another one.
Booted, kicked out by Menard. Rost on the ball, far sideline. She's double-teamed, manages to get it out. And a throw-in for the Tars. 25-17 left to go in the second half.
So probably the best opportunity here for not only a counterattack, but also being able to create some offensive presence here. Again, you're not necessarily looking to score, although if the opportunity comes up, you certainly don't want to pass. But right now it's more important to just reestablish some type of offensive presence and get some pressure on Tampa, give them something to think about.
Mosley tracking down the ball. Sticky situation for the Spartans. Barr out in front, retreating. Nice pass across the field. Spartans making another run down the far sideline. They won't control it, though. It's throw in for the Tars. Olivia Talmadge will be looking to get back into the game as she's waiting in the wings. Bailey Tram will be heading out.
So Talmadge, midfielder. She's from Sanibel, Florida. And a junior.
Throwing for Rollins in their half. Rost battling off her defender. Another throw in for the Tars. The last time these two teams played was back October 3rd of 2018. Rollins made the trip to Tampa, and they went into double overtime. The final score was 0-0, and it was a draw. Right now, Rollins is up 2-1, but 2-1 is a very dangerous lead to have in soccer.
Yeah, you never know what can happen with a score like that. Certainly you want the momentum on your side, but the momentum can change so quickly, and the score could be tied at any moment.
McGirt. China double-teamed. Scala trying to get it back for her team. And it's a throw-in for. Possession is awarded to the Spartans.
So far in this second half, Tampa has really done a good job of blocking passing lanes. We haven't really seen much passing from Rollins this second half.
Yeah, that translates to not as nearly as much quickness, especially laterally. As we mentioned, those 2 goals scored by Rollins were outside-inside passes. Haven't seen that here.
Menard boots it out. Throw in for the Spartans. Knapp taking the throw in. Barr. Kicked out by Ross. 22-18 to go.
So the bend but break defense continues to maintain the lead for Rollins. Ooh, nice play there.
Great defense by Ross.
Ross, yes. Good read and stuck the foot in right at the right time like a DB. Putting the shoulder into the chest when the ball gets there.
And there's a reason why she has the captain's sleeve on today, and she's been displaying it so far tonight. 2-1, Rollins is leading. Sam Guzman, Nick Stathis, and Neil Fisher bringing you tonight's action from the Sunshine State Conference.
And if you're playing for Rollins, all this in and out really isn't that bad. It's kind of one of those subtle advantages. The clock continues to tick.
Spartans still in their half.
So with that goal in the first half, Elena Beasley's streak of 329 minutes without giving up a goal was ended.
And Beasley's been playing fantastic. Nonetheless, that's still an impressive stat to have as a freshman.
Yeah, as we mentioned way back at the beginning of the broadcast, 3 consecutive shutouts here by Rollins. Still impressive, though. You're now looking at 8 straight games if it remains this way with 1 or no goals.
Catherine O'Brien making a substitution into the game. Sarah Scala will be coming out, excuse me.
Along with Beasley's dominance overall, she's also 4-0 at home with a .98 goals allowed average.
And O'Brien came back in. She's not limping as bad as we saw when she initially went down, but it still might be there, and she's willing to play through it. O'Brien, nice move. Couldn't finish it, though. Cleared out by the Spartans.
Really only the second time Rollins has been able to get that ball anywhere close to the goal crease in the second half. As we now just dip under 20 minutes left in the ball game.
Coach Shuck making sure that everyone marks their assignments because one error can lead to an equalizer for the Spartans.
Yeah, one error led to that lead being cut in half and really momentum changing there already.
Rennie Taiwo. Knapp with another throw-in for the Spartans. Official telling her to take a couple steps back. Ball trickles down the near sideline. Spartans still maintain possession.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Catherine O'Brien still hampered by that. It seems to be like maybe a hip flexor type thing. I know those injuries, oftentimes it's a muscle thing, so it's something where she kind of just has to jog it off and maybe it'll get better.
Great move by McGirt. McGirt attacking. Shot on goal from McGirt, wide. Goal kick for the Spartans.
And I believe that's the first goal attempted shot.
First shot on goal for
Rollins
Tars this half.
Exactly. Like I mentioned, they've only been able to get the ball anywhere close to the goal crease twice. So
Jackie Morris will come onto the pitch for the Spartans. Lisa Capara comes out. Jackie Morris assisted the only goal the Spartans have tonight.
Bromwell took a lot of time to set up that last goal there, so I think that really shows how much this game has changed. A much faster strategic feel to the game when it first started.
Now, Nick, there's less than 18 minutes to go. Rollins has a lead. If you're Coach Shuck, what do you do if you see the Spartans? They've been controlling this half, kind of, but you still want to prevail with the victory.
Honestly, I think we should.
Ball heads out for a goal kick. Sorry, Nick, continue.
If I was Rollins, I would try and get more offense in there. Maybe Sarah Buckley, who has scored 6 goals on the season. She's always, fire starter out there on the field.
She hasn't started yet, but as you said, Nick, when she comes onto the pitch, she's like the spark plug for this Tars team. O'Brien out alone. Manages to break through her defenders. McGirt shot blocked by Coaster.
Good thought, though, there. Haven't seen a lot of those shots either. Just lining up and letting her rip.
Marigliano tracks it down. Ball heading back into the Tars half. Mosley. Crosby working. Altonen. Near sideline. A lot of room to work with. O'Brien. Morris deflects it out. Eschenbach. Back to Marigliano. 16:22 to go. Marigliano boots one in. Nobody there. Goal kick for the Spartans. Nick, we were talking about it. As you said, Sarah Buckley's now entering the game. When she's outside the box, that is her area. We've seen a lot of goals outside the box that she's put in, and that she can be maybe the force that can put this game away for the Tars.
Yeah, Sarah Buckley, a key player off the bench. And anyone at Rollins knows her father is the coach of the men's team, so she has lots of knowledge on the game of soccer.
And Buckley had a shot right there off the volley. Very risky shot, but that just shows the courage she has, and she is not scared to shoot anything outside the box.
That was the fourth goal total, or the fourth shot attempted in the second half. None have actually been on goal, but there was only one about 5 minutes ago. So, again, Rollins is starting to pick up some offense, create some more offensive opportunities here.
Buckley puts one through to O'Brien. She just whiffs, and that's a goal throw-in for the Spartans, as you said, Neil. Rollins had 11 shots heading into halftime, and now they're only up to 13. Meanwhile, Tampa is at 6 shots so far tonight. It's still a 2-1 scoreline with 15 minutes to go here in K-Hall Sandspur Field at Barker Family Stadium.
And again, as I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, it was only the second time in the second half that Rollins was actually able to get an offensive possession, get the ball down, maintain the play down in the Tampa territory. But now that was really the beginning. That play being in the Tampa area and has really switched here in the last 5-6 minutes.
Throwing for the Tars. O'Brien double-teamed. Talmadge. Crosby.
Rollins has also gone back to more of a inside-outside pass first attack.
Slide tackle on Talmadge, and that's going to award a free kick for Rollins. Big opportunity here for Rollins with 14 minutes to go.
And it looks like Buckley's going to be taking the shot.
And this is a great opportunity. Sarah Buckley, Nick, we know the kind of foot she has. It doesn't matter how far it is. She's always a threat when she has the opportunity to line up in front of the goal.
She definitely has the range. Let's see what she does on this kick.
And, of course, if you're Rollins and Buckley, you want to take your time.
Three-person wall. Sarah Buckley with a shot saved by Bromwell. Rollins still has the ball. Altonen. Buckley switches sides of the field. Eschenbach over the top to Rost. Rost connects, but it doesn't go into the goal. Goal kick for the Spartans. Great play from Rollins nonetheless on that possession. They didn't get the result they wanted, of course, but still you love to see the passing.
Yeah, you got those long passes are crucial, and flipping that field can do so much on attacking drive.
And again, it's been a while since we've seen sustained play and that kind of pressure down there in the Tampa zone.
Steiger Waltz seeks out Barr, but Merigliano beat her to it. Merigliano turns the corner. Throw in for the Spartans. 12 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Rollins looking to prevail with a victory here in the final minutes as they lead 2-1.
And this is definitely about the time where I would want Rollins to just slow it down and keep things methodical. Don't try and rush anything. If the opportunity is there, take it.
And a free kick is awarded for the Spartans. Rollins looking to extend their winning streak to 8 games. They're undefeated in the conference so far, so a lot is on the line for Rollins.
7-0 record in conference, 10-2 overall, 21 points in the conference, holding the top spot.
Morse cleared out by Buckley. She's onside, crossed in. Merigliano back out. Spartans applying the pressure. That's offsides. Linesman calls it. Rollins gets out of a break, gets a break out of that.
Marigliano definitely seems to be the defensive MVP. She's been all over the field today, and like I said earlier, the right spots at the right times.
Marigliano made her 12th consecutive start tonight. That's why Coach Shuck likes to start her. As you said, Nick, great defensive play from Marigliano. 10:45 left in the second half. Morse out. Throwing for the Spartans once again.
Sarah, you're good now. You're out, Sarah.
If we're wondering how you got here, Catherine O'Brien scored the first goal of the game, and then moments later, it was Bailey Tran who made it 2-0, and then Moiko Morse hit the first goal for the Spartans, and now it's been still 2-1 up to this point.
Over the top pass they're attempted, and that's what they stopped doing there for about 30 minutes. Trying to get that pressure on the offense, on the offensive end.
Barr tracking it down. A lot of yellow shirts inside the box. Everyone catches up. Played out. Miscommunication, and that's going to lead to Beasley collecting the ball.
Yeah, as Beasley collects this.
You have to love what Beasley's doing so far this game. She did allow one goal, but so far she's been playing excellent.
You know, we really can't say enough about Beasley. A freshman, and the poise that she shows as a freshman is just amazing.
Oh, that's a throw-in for the Tars.
Great.
That's a smart move from Rost.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep throw in the Spartans' half. Rollins looking to capitalize on this.
Yeah, and a lot of opportunity here to take a lot of time off the clock as we're under 9 minutes.
Another throw in for Rost. This is a dangerous position for the Tars.
The biggest thing here now is you just don't want to give up a counterattack. We've seen how lethal that is.
Throw in for the Tars. 8:30 left to go. Rollins leading 2-1. Throw in for Rollins to O'Brien. Ross turns over the ball. Jackie Morris plays it down the sideline. No one there. Menard chasing it down. Marigliano beats her to it. Oh, what a move by Marigliano.
Again, good recovery defense, reading the offense and reacting quickly.
Nice through ball to O'Brien from Buckley. It's a foot race between Knapp and O'Brien. Dangerous slide tackle from Knapp. No call awarded to either team. And O'Brien was already limping earlier this game, and she took another hard spill right there.
Yep, same hip.
So 7.5 minutes left. Opportunity to continue working on that clock now if you're Rollins.
Buckley in the corner. Rollins seeking Rost. High cross in. Taiwo there. And Rost went down. And Rollins is going to get a stoppage in play here. Another set piece for Rollins. Buckley's going to be the one initiating the kick. 7:06 here to play. K-Hall Sandsper Field at Barker Family Stadium. Nick Stathis, Neil Fisher, and I'm Sam Guzman here to bring you action. Buckley whips one in. Bromwell had a scary moment there. It looked like she collected it, but it went right through her hands. The Spartans catch a break.
Yeah, if you're a Tampa supporter, your heart just went up into your neck there.
If that doesn't show how hard Sarah Buckley kicks, we've seen the booming power she has.
Yeah, as we've seen in the last 10 minutes here, 5 chances for the Rollins Tars in the last 10 minutes.
6:25 to go. Clock is winding down. Rollins looking to get their record to 11 wins and 2 losses. Their only 2 losses came to Grand Valley State and Flagler, 2 nationally ranked opponents.
Yeah, Grand Valley State actually is the defending national champion. So
Spartans kicked out by the Tars. Substitution for the Spartans. Lisa Capara will come back onto the pitch. Out comes Jackie Morris, who assisted the only goal the Spartans have had.
Another action into the middle here.
Capara with a shot. Beasley collects it.
So again, not good defense there to begin with, but certainly recovery. The defenseman came up and forced a low shot, which didn't quite make it all the way to the goal line. Beasley was able to come out and scoop it up. So that's, again, what we were talking about, bend but not break.
Yeah, as we've heard, as we're very close to the sideline here, Coach Shuck wants her forwards to defend, so she's really thinking about holding this lead.
Holding the lead, 5 minutes to go. Rollins up 2-1. Clock is stopped right now. Referee blows the whistle. Play begins again. It was Catherine O'Brien who picked up a yellow card.
So again, we're seeing a lot of back and forth along that left sideline, and this is the best possible situation for Rollins. That keeps the clock ticking. Again, that's your priority now.
Far corner. Spartans get it out of trouble.
You know, again, with 4.5 minutes left here, the ball going out of bounds is not really the end of the world for Rollins here, because it does take several seconds to get the ball back in play.
Another throw-in for the Tars. They're working their way up the field. 4 minutes now to go. O'Brien gets taken down. Set piece for Rollins.
So again, we've talked all game about O'Brien's importance, and we've seen it in the last 15 seconds or so. She's been involved in both of the calls there, both good and bad.
And Buckley will have a second chance. This time she plays it short to O'Brien, far sideline. And the Tars are just looking to sit in the corner and probably maintain possession as much as they can.
Yeah, again, you got a 2-1 lead, 3.5 minutes left. Your priority is just keep possession of that ball. Again, as I like to say over and over, if you have possession of the ball, the opponent can't score. And, of course, in this situation, you're also taking time off the clock.
Rollins controlling possession in the far corner of their attacking half. It's been a game between Buckley and Bryan there in the corner as the Spartans are looking to get possession back and maybe go on a counterattack.
We're under 3 minutes now.
You have to give Buckley props. She's keeping the ball. She's moving, doing tricks, and it's frustrating the Spartans as we have a wild crowd right there on the sideline showing their support. Substitution for the Spartans, Jalissa Richardson coming in. You can see Coach Aaron Switalski urging her players to hurry and run off the pitch because that clock is winding down.
2.5 minutes left.
Emily Cady comes out. She'll take a seat. 2:20 left. Goal kick from Bromwell.
And now, when you're down by a goal with only 2 minutes left, that also takes away the ability to be able to make that short pass to your defenders. You have to go with the over-the-top pass because you got to get that ball at least to midfield ASAP. O'Brien
kicks it out. 1:50 to go. Second half of this Sunshine State Conference matchup between the Rollins Tars and the Tampa Spartans. The Tars obviously protecting a 10-2 record and looking to extend their winning streak to 8 games. They're undefeated in the Sunshine State Conference so far.
And again, this is a victory that Tampa could certainly use. They're not going to drop with a loss, but they are 2 points out of second place. So they have 13. They're tied with Nova Southeastern. Embry-Riddle has 15. And they've had some opportunities to at least tie this ball game up and walk out of here with a point and break that tie for third.
Throw in for Rollins. 1 minute to go. The seconds are winding down.
Yeah, and I think Tampa, when they look back here, barring a sensational play here at the end, they're going to look back and think, you know, we had some opportunities. We might not have been able to score, but at least had the opportunities to get a shot on goal.
What a beautiful pass by Buckley to advance the ball into their own scoring zone. Now they look to hold it for 30 more seconds.
30 seconds winding down. We've seen that Rollins is just trying to maintain possession for as long as possible. They won't have to for as so far as 21 seconds is on the clock, and it's winding down. Throw in for Rollins.
15 seconds now. Tick, tick, tick.
Goal kick for the Spartans. They're trying to get it off in a hurry. I don't think they'll be able to do it as Rollins playing it down. Marigliano there with the great defensive stop. And that is the final whistle. Rollins takes a victory, 2-1. The Rollins Tars still undefeated in the Sunshine State Conference, 8-0, 8-match winning streak. They advanced their overall record to 11 wins and 2 losses, and right now they are just on a roll in the conference play.
That's right. The domination continues. I would say Alicia Shuck is a big part of this conference success. We're always hearing her on the sidelines giving direction. She's very much a vocal coach, so her players can really always do what she wants them to do.
Yeah, I think she made some key substitutions. Of course, college rules allow for a player to come in and out. She took advantage of that. I know Ross came in on 3 different occasions according to the situation, but the bottom line is every time that Tampa was able to get the ball down, they were able to get it down the sideline, but they couldn't get it into the middle and turn around and face the goal and get that shot they wanted.
It was Catherine O'Brien who scored the first goal of the match for Rollins. That put them up 1-0. And then moments later, Bailey Tran with a spectacular goal into the top right corner to make it 2-0. And then it would be Moiko Morse of the Tampa Spartans that would cut that deficit down to 2-1. But unfortunately, the Spartans could not come back into the game. And that is win number 11 for the Rollins Tars. They will go on to face Barry on Wednesday, October 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's been a great, successful run for Coach Shuck and her squad nonetheless this season. The Tampa Spartans move on to 4-7-1 and 4-3-1 in Sunshine State Conference play. Their next match will be at Florida Tech November 2nd. It's been a great performance. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, again, as we said, with about a minute left, I think if you're Tampa, you're going to look back and think, especially in that second half, you had some opportunities there. Maybe we didn't score, but we could have at least gotten some quality shots. We left them on the board, and even though Rollins didn't really play near as with the same dynamic play and the explosiveness as they did in that first 20 minutes, they did what they had to. They got that defense into the middle and prevented Tampa from being able to turn around and shoulder up to the goal. They took advantage of their 2 or 3 opportunities, turned them into points. Again, Tampa did, and I think that was really your difference in the general sense.
Well, Rollins takes the victory, 2-1, extend the winning streak to 8 matches. For Sam Guzman, Neil Fisher, and Nick Stathis, have a good night, everyone.